Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Music Hole. My name is Cole, and today we're going to be doing another entry in my Best Albums of All Time series. These are just albums that blew me away, and I'm just really excited to share them. So I hope you like them. And I'm really excited about today's album. This is the second album by DeMarco called 2, which came out in 2012. And really, he's just one of the most exciting new artists. He just has such an amazing, unique sound in so many ways, and it's so inspirational, and it's so life-affirming. You know, to have your own unique sound in 2012 as a rock musician is pretty special. So I'm really excited to talk about this album. So with that said, let's jump right in. It's just such an incredible beginning to the album. Just so much energy. You can already tell that this is going to be a fun ride. And I love the dual guitar work going on. You can already tell that he's got his own unique sound. Even though this is not even like the most unique part of it. It only gets better. And, you know, thankfully, not only does he have a great sound, but the lyrics in many of these songs are just really good. So I have another clip from the song getting into that. So let's listen to it.
Daddy's in the basement, cooking up something fine, while Rick's out on the pavement, flipping it for dimes. If there's anything redeeming, and I'm still up at midnight, chewing Nicorette. Oh, life moves this slowly. Oh, let's try and let it go.
Again, you know, as I mentioned, his voice itself is really unique, and you really hear that in this clip. But I love the lyrics. You know, the album as a whole, I don't know if it's autobiographical, like if this is a true story of DeMarco's life. It might be, but the album has a story, and this is kind of the beginning of the story, where essentially, here's a guy who probably lives in a really boring, rural, small town somewhere in the middle of America, maybe. You know, and his parents make a living cooking meth, probably. You know, he says Rick is flipping it for dimes. So this is like a really down and out part of town, probably. So Mac's character, you know, is just living in this really boring, down and out, poor environment, and he's probably thinking like, you know, how am I going to get out of this? Is this just going to be my life? You know, he's thinking about these things. So it's a really good song lyrically. I really like it. It's like a little bit humorous as well, which is kind of fun. But track 2 is even better. Track 2 is really fun, and it has some interesting lyrics. So let's check it out.
Someday I'll find her, and I'm still reminded. Maybe she's best in dreams. She's still the best I've seen.
So this is Dreaming, and on this clip in particular, you really get a sense for that really druggy, really psychedelic, kind of off-kilter sound, guitar sound that Mac DeMarco is known for. And the lyrics in this song are basically like Mac DeMarco is, is probably late at night and he's just thinking about, really the only thing he has to look forward to at this point in the story is meeting somebody special and, marrying them or whatever. So he's thinking about a girl, his ideal girl, and as he says, like she's probably best in dreams. Which what that means to me is that like this is the one thing he has to look forward to, and he just really hopes he really hopes that it's not a disappointment, like when he actually meets someone that's interested in him. So she's best in dreams. So yeah, he's still struggling. He's still trying to figure out if this is just his life. But anyway, so track 3 is another really interesting song where he kind of moves forward in his journey through the album and through his life. So let's check it out.
And I know it's no fun when your first son gets up to no good, starts freaking out the neighborhood. Really, I'm fine. Never been better. Got no job on the line. Sincerely, don't worry. Same old boy that you hoped you would find.
So this is Freaking Out the Neighborhood, and it's a little bit confusing, I'll admit. But what it sounds to me, it sounds to me like Mac's character is maybe acting out a little bit. Maybe he's taking drugs. While he's on the drugs, he's freaking out the neighborhood, as he says. Because basically, like, he just feels. On one hand, he's really bored. He lives in this really boring town. So that's one reason to do it. And the other reason is he just wants to feel good, But it's freaking out his neighbors. They're probably seeing this guy, like, who's high all the time. So yeah, he's just kind of like, he as he says, he has no job on the line. So like, he's just kind of in this state in his life where he has no responsibility, but he also has like nothing that he's pursuing dream-wise. Like, he's just really lost. So this might be rock bottom-ish for his character. So we'll see how his story develops in my next clip. Let's check it out.
Knows when it's me, knows how I'm feeling, and gives me a healing. Oh, Annie, sit down beside me, let me confide in you. When I'm blue.
Yeah, that's Annie. And, Mr. DeMarco, our hero, has finally met somebody, possibly the girl of his dreams. And, so this is a clip. He's talking about, their love, essentially. But I actually thought the most important and interesting part of these lyrics was right at the beginning, You know, because he says, Annie knows when it's me, right? So I like to think of that as like, as I mentioned, he's probably getting high a lot. And when he's high, he's not himself, obviously. So Annie knows when it's me. What that means to me is that like Annie knows this guy so well that he's just like, he knows the real DeMarco. And, you know, hopefully, and we're going to see this in the next clip, hopefully this love will inspire DeMarco to do something about his life, you know, because up until this point, like he's had nothing to look forward to really, other than getting high. So now he's got somebody, he's got Annie, and now he needs to figure out the next step in his life. So in that regard, we're going to skip to track 6. Track 5 is good, but nothing really stood out to me lyrically or sonically. So the next step in his journey is on track 6. So let's check it out.
Maybe when we're older, we can try this over. Loving on the sidelines, another one of my kind.
Oh man, poor Mr. DeMarco. He just, you know, he finally met somebody and they love each other. But, you know, as he says, essentially, his life wasn't going anywhere. And so I imagine the girl was like, you know, I love you, but I don't want to be with somebody who just has nothing going on in his life. So if I'm interpreting the lyrics correctly, they broke up. And he says, you know, like, oh, maybe when we're older and maybe I have a job or whatever, you know, if you're still single, you know, maybe we can get back together. So love on the sidelines, as he says. So anyway, our poor guy, poor Mac. Geez, I hope he finds somebody. But anyway, so that's Robson Girl. That's all I have to say about it. So let's move on to track number 7.
Honey, this town's really taking its toll. But don't worry, I'm all through with feeling this old. When I'm down, you're always the first on my mind. Skipping town, let's get out and see what we find.
So track 7 is called The Stars Keep on Calling My Name. And again, here we have Mac, our hero, who has found a new girlfriend. Right. But this time it sounds like he's got some motivation now. I'm assuming he's a musician, you know, if this is based on Mac's life. So he's got some motivation now. The stars are calling his name. So he's possibly thinking about moving out of his small town with this new girlfriend. You know, there's finally something going on in his life. Like he has a dream. His life is no longer just waking up and getting high and going to bed. And as you know, as you can imagine, being a musician in a small town like that, like you're not going to get anywhere. So yeah. Thank goodness he's found a direction for his life, and he's gonna go for it. So let's see what happens next.
Getting hard to remember, getting hard to recall, getting laid off and pushed out, and it ain't my baby's fault. So if you go, don't cry, I'll be right there at your aside, Sherrill.
Yeah, so that's Sherrill, and as far as I'm concerned, this is the end of Mac's journey on this album. It's the last track I want to talk about, you know. So it sounds like he moved to LA or New York with his new girlfriend, and it just nothing is going right. You know, he's getting fired from his jobs. They're struggling. His career is not taking off. And like most artists, I mean, you know, most artists, even though they have the courage to try, and I thank all of you artists who try. You know, he had these lofty dreams and ambitions, but they're just not working out for him. And it even sounds like his girlfriend is probably fed up and is leaving this guy. So poor DeMarco. I mean, really, poor guy. So this album, it's just a loving tribute to artists in general, and you know the struggle that artists go through. Because really you have to do it for yourself. Because if you need to fulfill that like inner desire to create. Because if you're doing it just to get famous and to get rich, then you're going to be disappointed, basically. So Mac's character is disappointed. It's not working out for him. But again, this is just like, you know, I'm glad he made this album. Again, it's a lovely tribute to the artist's dream. And I just love this album just so much. Like for me, it's an easy 10. It's just so creative. It's so different. You know, as I mentioned, the guitar work is really unique sounding. His vocals are great. Just the sound of his voice is really special, and the lyrics are really interesting. So it's just the whole package as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, you know, I just hope you like it, or at the very least, I hope that I made you think about it in a new way. You know, but as always, you know, feel free to let me know what you think about it. Maybe you've got some interpretations that I didn't consider. You know, I'd love to check them out. But yeah, this is Mac DeMarco. The album is 2. Check it out. And if you like the video, please like and subscribe. It would really help out. But that's all I have to say about it. So have a good night.